First Take ended up getting a little feisty, if you will. It wasn't necessarily crazy, but
Stephen A. Smith stirred up controversy among WNBA players when he commented on Olivia Miles' decision to stay in college instead of going pro. He mentioned that Miles could earn more through NIL deals than Caitlin Clark will with her $76,000 rookie salary. His remarks quickly turned the First Take studio into a fiery debate.
But they were getting a little back and forth going about the CBA and Olivia Miles not actually declaring to go into the WNBA just yet.
One of the female co-hosts pushed back, saying they needed a woman to explain why comparing WNBA and NBA salaries isn't fair. Stephen A. fired back with revenue numbers, while Shannon Sharpe cautioned against pushing for change without having real leverage. By the end of the segment, viewers got a glimpse into the deeper financial challenges facing women's basketball, issues that go way beyond what most fans usually see.
Olivia Miles, let's understand what's going on. This is about money, Janae. Now, she had a career year averaging over 15 points, shoot 48% from the field and all this other stuff. We got to look at two things. We got to look at the money that Shannon brought up in NIL compared to what's existing in the WNBA.
Stephen A. Smith just made headlines on First Take and basketball fans are buzzing. He revealed that Olivia Miles isn't heading to the WNBA yet, and it all comes down to money. And honestly, who can blame her? What Stephen A. laid out was a wake-up call for anyone who assumed top women's basketball players were making big money. The truth is far more eye-opening.
Caitlin Clark last year made $76,535 in the first year of her contract.
Wait, say that again. How much?
$76,535. Obviously, she made considerably more off the court. This is on her WNBA obligation.
Yeah.
Let's break down the numbers. Caitlin Clark, arguably the biggest name in women's basketball, is set to earn just $76,535 in her rookie year with Indiana. That's about the same as what a junior marketing employee might make in a city like Chicago or New York. Barely enough to cover rent. Meanwhile, top college players with solid NIL deals are pulling in six figures while still in school. For elite athletes trying to make the most of their earning years, the math just doesn't make sense.
And we also got to look at Notre Dame and what's going on there that you can't get what you want from that school, from that institution. What's the problem there? You're producing for them. You're a commodity and an asset to them. Why do you have to entertain departing for another school or the WNBA when you consider what Notre Dame has the ability to offer?
Stephen A. explained that Olivia Miles is making a smart business move by staying in college. It gives her more time to grow her brand, boost her exposure, and take advantage of NIL deals that could easily outpace a WNBA rookie salary. It's a strategic choice aimed at long-term financial security. Timing plays a big role here. The WNBA's current collective bargaining agreement has a major opt-out clause coming after the 2025 season. With that in mind, players and agents are planning ahead. For Miles, waiting until the 2026 draft could mean the difference between financial strain and a stable future.
WNBA Players Association chose to opt out of their current collective bargaining at the end of the 2025 season. Lottery picks in 2025 will make $78,831 in their first season, $348,198 over the course of their 4-year.
Imagine being a rookie in Los Angeles trying to get by on $78,300. After taxes, rent, transportation, and basic living costs, there's barely anything left for savings or emergencies. That's why many WNBA players pick up second jobs during the off-season just to stay afloat. This financial pressure is forcing athletes to make tough career decisions. Interestingly, more veteran players are choosing one-year contracts instead of committing long-term. They're holding out hope that the 2026 collective bargaining agreement will bring higher salaries, taking a risk now for the chance at a much better payday down the road.
Exponentially more dollars projected to be available to her. So she could, as Shannon pointed out, be looking to go back to college with an NIL deal that's going to get her more money, wait to go into the WNBA draft, and position herself to sign for exponentially more than she would be able to if she entered this WNBA draft.
Olivia Miles is choosing to stay in college and earn through NIL deals instead of jumping to the WNBA. It's a smart financial move, especially with possible pay increases coming in 2026. The truth is, many women's players make more in college than in the pros. Stephen A. Smith pointed this out, starting a bigger conversation about pay in the WNBA.
I'd like to know the comparison between the NBA, what they're bringing in, and the players.
Let me tell you why
that percentage versus the WNBA, the league's taking in.
The debate on First Take heated up when one co-host pushed for a comparison between WNBA and NBA salaries. The tension was thick as she argued for bringing in a woman to explain why WNBA players deserve NBA-level pay. You could see Stephen A. Smith getting visibly frustrated as he tried to stay calm before dropping a financial truth bomb that left everyone shocked.
Hold on, Jenny. I'm going to come to you. Let me tell y'all why y'all need to stop that. We're going to be honest on this show.
Why?
The fact of the matter is, stop comparing yourself to the NBA because the NBA makes exponentially more. So because it was a combination of two things. Number one is the money that they make. And number two is the position that you're in from a collective bargaining perspective to ask yourself how much credit do you deserve.
Stephen A. shot back, saying it's an unfair comparison. He revealed something many fans don't know. Despite the WNBA's growing popularity, the league lost $40 million last year. Like a ship taking on water, the WNBA's financial struggles are hidden beneath its surface growth. This reality check quickly shifted the tone of the conversation.
The product for the WNBA has been fabulous. It's been absolutely outstanding. I'm not trying to compromise or throw any shade on that whatsoever. But for years, what the WNBA has proclaimed is that there's a lot of things that we were doing that was losing us money. And so now that we're making a little bit of money, all of a sudden, we're not going to be in a position as of yet to give you that. That's not an argument I'm buying. The WNBA players deserve their dollars. They need to go and get it. But until you do, there's going to be more Olivia Miles.
The female co-host pushed back, creating one of those tense first take moments that filled the studio with discomfort. Stephen A. then laid out the financial structure of women's basketball, shedding light on a system most casual fans don't even realize exists.
Now, although they didn't negotiate that, they still get 9.3% of revenue of everything that comes into the league. But the problem with that is, out of the 100% of revenue that comes to the WNBA, 42% of that is shared with the NBA. They're not their own entity like that. They're really attached to the NBA. So 42% goes to the NBA, and then 15.8%, if I'm not mistaken, goes to individual investors that actually help the league survive as well during a tough time. It's just two entirely different situations.
Did you catch that? A huge 42% of WNBA revenue goes straight to the NBA. So when you buy tickets for the Aces or Liberty, almost half that money isn't even staying in the women's league. On top of that, 15% goes to private investors just to keep the league going. In total, 57% of the money disappears before it can help players' salaries or league growth. How can the league grow when most of the funds vanish?
And although they have it set up to where if the team or the organization don't make a profit, they still get their share of the revenue, they're making a profit. So you can't really ignore that part. They made 11.4 or 11.3 billion last year in the positives, okay? Whereas to the WNBA lost 40 million. The league and the owners, they're gonna use this type of information against them to not.
The NBA differs greatly, where players still get a share of revenue, even in bad years. Though NBA players don't have that safety net, they depend on the league's profits. Stephen A. pointed out the solid viewership numbers, with teams averaging 300,000 viewers in full arenas for big games. But more viewers don't always mean more money, especially when the league's structure works against the players. The co-host was visibly shocked, processing the info on the spot. It was a powerful moment as tough truths about the league came to light.
I do think they're going to get money. I think they're going to get a raise. I think they're going to see facilities and more staff members. I think they'll be taken care of better, but they're not going to see exactly everything that they're asking for.
This conversation is really about the WNBA's business structure, which is struggling to turn a profit despite its growing popularity. Until the league revamps its revenue-sharing model and becomes financially independent, players will keep facing an uphill battle for fair pay.
Yeah,
Please?
first of all, Stephen A., money matters, and I totally understand that, but it's not everything when it comes to players' decision making. And when you're talking about Notre Dame, why would they not be able to retain Olivia Miles? A lot of it is a basketball argument. She wants to go and be a primary option, and she can also make money elsewhere. So it's a two-part type of answer, not just, oh, they should be able to throw as much money and cash at her so she stays. That's not how it works.
Just when things couldn't get more intense on asterisk first take asterisk, someone suggested that WNBA players should completely ignore the league's financial losses when negotiating their contracts. This bold proposal left the panel speechless. The female panelist argued that players should focus on growing ratings, increasing attendance, and the league's growing cultural influence, rather than the troubling financial issues that keep executives awake at night.
It's not.
When you're negotiating?
Yeah, when they're negotiating, they're looking at the revenue metrics, they're looking at the viewership, they're looking at the attendance, they're looking at the merchandising, and they want to collaborate with the league. And the reason why I know this is I used to be on the WNBA Players Association, and my sister's the president while I was in the league.
No, I'm saying, really, you've been a part of the negotiation where somebody just said to you, "You're absolutely right. We think you deserve what you're asking for."
No. It's a give and take. We all know that. But what I'm saying is the argument saying that, revenue is a goal, but it's not the only thing. Like there are what we used to call them are buckets. There are buckets where we try to help, players' well-being while they're playing. We've already seen advances when it comes to charters. We've already seen advances when it comes to facilities. So the standard keeps going up and up, but we're not just saying salary is the only thing that moves us forward.